Hello and welcome to All Killer, No Filler. We have returned with the Pilothouse principles along with D2C here to get our hot takes on all of the exciting things that are happening in the world of D2C direct marketing. Today we have the co-host of the podcast, Kyle Guilfoyle, as well as founders of Pilothouse, Kyle Hitchcocks, Jeff Shannon, Dave Steele, as well as our lead media buyer, Nate Van Connett. Welcome to All Killer No Filler. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Well.
Nice. All right. Right off the top, we're going to try something called value rocket. What do we have? What's one thing on our minds right now that we're seeing in our campaigns that people ought to know about? Nate, you said you had something.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed lately is one-day click view optimization on campaigns. So lately, every time I have a winning campaign, I'll do a test with my normal structure. And then as soon as I find a winning campaign, dupe it out, exact same campaign, but optimized to one-day click view. And that's been crushing lately. So definitely worth a try.
Why do you think that's working?
Super simple.
Why do you think that's working, Nate?
Just hits a different subset of the audience, I think. People that are, it goes after specifically people that are going to convert that day, whereas, 7-day goes after people with a longer window. So just different subset. Works really well.
What do you got, Hitch?
Google Click ID lookalikes. So yeah, Nate, you can talk to that for sure. But creating lookalikes off of your refer from Google using the custom URL, it's like pretty much every account we kick it off and it rocks.
So that's search traffic coming in, like paid search traffic or organic search?
Whatever is coming through, whatever's created a Google Click ID on your page.
Sweet.
So it could be paid, it could be organic, whatever. It's just people that have come in with intent, and then you're building a lookalike off of that. So in theory, you're getting people that generally have a higher intent.
And you can do the same thing with like Snapchat too, or TikTok or other platforms that are better top of funnel. You can just use those UTMs to build those audiences. Is that right?
Yeah,
for sure. Another one I've got is, just speaking of Google, is get on YouTube. It's starting to crush for us, especially in lead gen. The e-com guys can talk about a little bit more, but lead gen is just pumping right now. Huge scale, quality is awesome. It's actually better than Facebook on some stuff, which is rare for us to find a new source with better quality.
Could you tell us a bit about how you're using it on the lead gen side?
Pretty similar to the Facebook. So we're finding, we pre-sell quite a bit in the videos. We generally take people straight from a long form pre-sell. So like video pre-sell being like a minute to 2 minutes long in the video, and then we take them straight to the form. So pretty simple. Yep.
How long are the videos, Jeff?
I think most of ours, they're explainer videos. So we have people actually explaining the product. These ones specifically, the one I'm thinking of, is an older audience. So explains the video is probably about 2.5 minutes long.
That's actually quite low. I've seen some ads lately that are like 2.5 hours long, explainer videos.
Oh yeah. If you look at all the guys doing the guru courses, all that kind of stuff, they're like 45-minute epics, but we're not doing that.
Nice. Jeff, how much on YouTube remarketing is in that mix? What's your split between prospecting and remarketing? Because I know you can remarket on other placements on YouTube.
It's pure prospecting.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We had a problem with it because we do quite a bit of volume for this client on Facebook, like 50 grand a day kind of thing in total. So we were getting a lot of view through conversions on YouTube. But we changed the pixel. How did we do it? My Google guy will know better than I, but basically took the pixel event from analytics opposed to just throwing a Google pixel on there. So analytics basically decides, hey, okay, that it was given to Facebook or it was given to YouTube. So that was a big difference for us.
I wish Saul was on here. I got one more bomb on the search side, using branded bidding primarily as your conversion driver for Google, and then using that to feed the data, and then moving it into display YouTube also to use their machine learning to start driving conversions on your behalf, much like Facebook.
Yeah, and unpack that a little bit. That's a good shout, Hitch, especially for any brands out there who don't have the volume to get enough conversion data into the algo if you train it on your own tribe of customers.
Interesting. Cool. Speaking of training the algo, there was some wild stuff thrown out there the other day on Twitter. I was reading about people being really sort of fed up with rising CPMs, lowering conversion rates across the board. A lot of people out there struggling, and there was some people throwing some interesting ideas around about whether or not the pixel is seasoned for the right time right now. I'll have to pull the tweet up exactly, but it was essentially that pre-COVID times produced good data for early COVID times, because it's like we didn't realize how much things had changed. But the idea was that now that we've sort of been in this for 5 months or 6 months or whatever it's been, that the data isn't where it needs to be in order to understand people's purchasing behavior during COVID. I don't know if that makes any sense. What do you guys think of that idea?
I think it's possible. I think what you're saying is basically like people acted a different way during COVID, trained the pixel how to act, and then they've changed their purchasing behavior or something so it doesn't match. Is that kind of what you're saying? That's
kind of what this tweet was theorizing. It was just basically a hypothesis that the pixel isn't trained on current behavior. It still has this window of behavior that was based on, the way we behaved before versus now. I don't know if there was much to it. It was a really interesting thing. There was a lot of people chiming in on whether they believed it or not. Some people were ready to take action on it and nuke their pixel.
I definitely noticed. I've even noticed, counter to that, I've noticed like changes in the pixel since COVID. Like with one of our clients, historically, like the best times of day had always been in the evening because people get home from work, then they go online, whatever, they convert. And then after COVID hit, the kind of like late morning into midday crushed. And now that things have started to open back up a little bit, obviously we're going into a second wave here a little bit, but as things open back up, the evening's been a lot better again. That's a change that I've definitely noticed because of COVID.
Practically, what do you do to take advantage of that when you notice shifts in the flows of traffic and the way your customers are behaving? What do you actually do in your campaigns to take advantage of those shifts?
Yeah, so we're doing two things right now. So the first one is obvious. We're just changing the way we optimize. So letting campaigns run a little bit later because we know the morning's not as good right now. So we let them run a little bit later before we start to optimize in the day, and using things like Facebook rules. And then we're also testing day parting, still early stages, so can't say much there, but.
Interesting.
I've got a bigger theory, broader theory. I think that there's like this have and have not thing. Our premium products are just destroying. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. They're doing better than they ever have, even during COVID times. And then on the flip side, some of the lower end stuff isn't doing as well. And so I have a theory that there's people that have more money and there's people that have less money. And that's kind of what I'm thinking is like, what kind of products or what kind of clients do we want?
That's a really good point, Hitch. I mean, there was some stats saying that basically everyone that lost their jobs was low income earners. It wasn't the high end people. Like people in like white collar jobs didn't lose anything. Blue collar, retail front, that kind of stuff, restaurants, they all lost their jobs. So I guess, I mean, that makes total sense. I mean, we're all working here, right? We work in an office, we can keep buying, but everyone that worked in restaurants doesn't have that buying power anymore. So they're not buying the cheaper stuff.
Yeah, and the Trump money's gone. Dave, you referenced this before too, like one of our early podcasts. People have more disposable income. They're spending less. They're not at the bars. They're not going to restaurants. They're cooking. And so I think it is quickly going to become a have and have not, at least for like the next year or two.
Totally. All right. What else we got going here? So we jump in.
Just one thing on the pixel, Eric, because I don't think we didn't really decide like how to action that, but just test it. Always be testing that stuff. Like there's definitely no guarantee. Like we've had accounts where we try a new pixel and it completely shits the bed. Then we have times we try a new pixel and it's like it cuts our CPA in half. So like just get out there, set up another account, try it.
Yeah. On that note too, this could be kind of a value rocket. One thing we're doing with one of our lead gen clients right now is we noticed a bit of a CPA rise over the past kind of month or so. So we introduced promos where we are basically, it's like sign up to this service and get this product. And basically we're drop shipping based on UTM parameters, drop shipping these people cheap products. And if it can bring our CPA down enough to cover the cost of the product, then it's a win. So that's something we're doing right now, but it ties into the pixel too, because we built a second pixel for it. Because at first we were doing it with the same pixel, and we found that it trained the pixel to go after people that are like, they need a little bit of kind of incentivization. And so we built a second pixel to counteract that, and it's working really well so far.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Don't give all our secret sauce away, guys.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the some updates have happened on the Facebook platform this week. Probably the most notable is the 20% rule is no more, and we'd love to just get your take on why do you guys think Facebook made this decision? Why is it a big deal, and is there an opportunity in it?
I have an idea. I think that they're projecting higher CPMs, and that they need to allow advertisers to be creative in how to get those down.
I like it. Let's be clear too. We didn't
Totally
say text. This is the 20% text rule for anyone who's not read in and watching all of our tweets. Previously Facebook only allowed you to put 20% text on your images, and they had a tool that allowed you to test this. And so we'd always be testing creatives before we did it. About a couple weeks ago, we started to notice that not for everyone, but they were phasing it out so you couldn't actually access this tool. And now I think Hitch is right there in that their whole policy is just all about letting the data decide. So why are we saying that it's going to create a bad experience just because there's a certain arbitrary amount of text on the screen? Yeah. Are we doing anything? Have we taken advantage yet? I keep thinking of like you can have this Star Wars scroll now of text and get people to read it. Have we experimented with using big text anywhere yet?
We have a lot of tests live like right now, but no, I don't have conclusive data as of yet.
I think this dropped like 3 days ago. Yeah. So they're doing a ton of full screen testimonial stuff. It's lightweight. See how it goes.
Yeah.
Nice. Okie doke. All right. What's next? We have Eric Bandholt from Beard Brand tweeted, "People love mystery products. It's our new unit sales leader. Who knew? Great addition to help boost your average order value." So what have we done anything in mystery products? I know that we have done sort of mystery bundles where we've dealt with clients that have had different issues with running different stock numbers, not running out of different stocks, being able to bundle them all together and actually having those mystery bundles be superior to the bundles that people actually know what they're getting. Have we experimented with that with anything else? For instance, a mystery gift, Nate, that you're adding along with...
We've never done a mystery gift, but we did do a mystery product, and we actually did it over the course of like 2 months, where we built email lists about this mystery product that was going to be unveiled, and you actually had to prepay the full price of the product before you even knew what it was, and that worked amazingly. It did really, really well. We built it up kind of over the course of like 2 months and released like little tidbits of info on what the product was, and then dropped it all at once, and it was pretty big. It was great.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I think
Are you talking about, just frame it for me here. So are you talking about like a random product, like randomproduct.com? Or are you talking about like, hey, this is taking a type of product that you're familiar with?
It's taking choice out of, it's, being familiar with a brand and then having them sell a mystery product. So instead of being like, you're buying this product, you're buying, so you trust the brand enough to buy something that it's like going to Floyd's and getting the mystery breakfast that you get to flip for or whatever, right?
Yeah, or like Jordan being like, you can't see this shoe, but you're gonna get this shoe or whatever.
Exactly.
Got it.
It's a real flex. It's a real like brand flex, I think. And if it works, it's sort of, I think to me it belies the fact, something that came up in the movie The Social Network that we've been talking a little bit about, this idea of dopamine. And it's sort of like, it seems less about the thing that they're idealizing that they're getting, but just that they're going to get something. It's going to be a surprise. They like the brand. Maybe that's giving them the dopamine hit that's worth it to them. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, bang on, man. I think people love surprises. It's like, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think that dopamine, that excitement that they don't just get, they kind of get to like, when you buy a product, you get that dopamine hit when you buy, when you know what it is, but you don't know what it is. If you don't know what it is, you kind of get that dopamine hit for the next, week until it arrives, or 3 days or something. And you get to, unbox it and all that kind of exciting stuff. It's kind of like, it's like you're paying for your own Christmas morning.
Yeah, totally. I also think it takes a bit of friction out of it because people it takes that accountability out of the choice that they have to make, and did I make the right decision? And they can just click. Well, who knows? But yeah, so
Well, Dave, what are you saying? You're trying to get up there.
No, I was actually just gonna clarify. Eric, you said Social Network. It was actually Social Dilemma on Netflix.
That's right. Not the Zuckerberg epic, which is a great movie.
Also, major dopamine hits there.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. So also in industry news this week, Ezra Firestone posted that his product One-Click Upsell is going to be part of Shopify's native checkout experience, which is interesting given that what we tend to expect to see from a huge platform is they would just integrate a feature like that themselves. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think the play here is for Shopify?
The news is actually bigger. Carthook is also wrapped up into that. So the two platforms. So it makes it even more curious and exciting.
Yeah.
So do you guys think, I mean, will the user then, because they basically, parts of those are the same thing, right? Like being able to enable one-click upsells after the purchase. Is it, if they're both in there building this thing, does the user get to choose which one they use? Or is it like, do you think they're coming together to build one amazing upsell platform or something?
I think there's a clue with the Carthook, how it said like, as of this date, we'll no longer be accepting new customers. And I think if you dug into what Ezra's saying there, it might be the same thing. So to me, Shopify has always been, having been intimately involved with their affiliate ecosystem, I know how much they value these partners in their ecosystem. So in my guesstimate would be that there's some kind of slowdown coming in where I don't know, but I know that they'd be trying to keep these apps in their ecosystem as happy as long as they could. But ultimately, I feel like the writing will be on the wall where Shopify will integrate this, aspect of their service to their core platform.
Upsells.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
Upsells have always been part of our secret sauce, right? We come into a brand that doesn't run them, we introduce them, and overnight we drive higher returns, right? So I think Shopify also knows that. And so if it can get more of its users or its stores running effective upsells, they're going to be more profitable. If they're more profitable, they're going to invest more into Shopify and so on. So I think that's a big part of it as well, is it's probably one of the most powerful apps on Shopify. And so by internalizing that, they can probably get more, more use for their stores.
Oh yeah, and they keep the payment processing in their ecosystem now, opposed to outsourcing to these guys.
Totally. Shopify literally just lost out of all those transactions from those partners. I think also it's funny because like Jeff and I, we built this technology internally. We have a tool, we do it internally. And me and Jeff, like our conversation a year ago is like, Shopify is just going to ban these things. Facebook won't allow it. And so it's really interesting to see it go the other way, against kind of the model that we saw where they're going to embrace it. I think, again, it comes down to high CPMs. They're probably talking to Facebook. Is this cool? How do we maximize spend on platforms and work together to do that? This is a no-brainer.
Nice. One of the last topics I wanted to tackle here was something that we reported on a few weeks back in the DTC newsletter. Go to directtoconsumer.com.co and sign up for our newsletter if you haven't already. Was that there's going to be a big pause in political ad spending. So among all the things that are affecting CPMs right now, the massive amount of political ad spending has got to be a part of it, as we're gearing up for Q4. But there's apparently going to be a jubilee or a pause called on all political advertising for a week before the election. I'm wondering if that's factoring into any of our conversations we're having with clients to be like, this is a week we got to fill that vacuum. Nah.
You're going to spend, like if you're spending, you're always testing. If something,
it's going to be natural, I think. Yeah, like if CPMs drop and performance goes up those days, then we scale and take advantage of it. But I don't think that it's worth, saying we're going to absolutely crank budgets on these days, because it's pretty uncertain.
But
with
because
that
you're
being
aware
said,
of it,
Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Q5, which is between Christmas and New Year's, definitely geared up for
sure.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Before we wrap up here, we were hoping to try a little experiment where we're gonna play an ad from sometime in history, obviously, and I'm gonna share my screen, and you guys are gonna guess what it is. Does that sound good? Good to you guys?
I love it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna do a little screen share. Okay. Here we go. And I'm gonna stop it right before the brand shows up, and you guys gotta guess. Okay. Here we go. Make it big.
I've seen it. Oh, what is this? Totally seen it.
Oh, fuck yeah, I've seen this too. What is that?
Okay, so we went to the moon, but there was a giant alien. And
Yeah, there's audio listeners here, right?
You paused it too late, dude.
Oh,
You paused it too
no.
Damn
late.
it! Wait, did you guys see that?
Is that a bean can?
Yeah, it's
it's
definitely a bean can.
You never would have got it.
Damn it.
You totally would have had us there.
Okay.
You're gonna have to
Well-
narrate that for the audio listeners, Eric.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing. So they're on the moon. But we can cut that out for the we can cut it out for the podcast.
Well,
That'll-
it was an interesting experiment. Here, let's get your screen stopped.
Oh, yeah. Oh, whoops. Yeah, there we go.
So that's good. Okay, well, thanks everyone for coming by. Was there anything else anyone wanted to end off the this week's All Killer No Filler with? Is there one thing our audience should focus on to see the greatest improvement in marketing performance heading into Q4, Q5?
Creative output
Creative output, eh? Stop
and
saying.
inventory for sure. Inventory is a smart one. But yeah, creative output. We see a direct correlation between creative output and CPAs dropping. So definitely something to continue to focus on going to Q4.
That's interesting because Facebook is going to tell you different now, but they're wrong. You need to be testing creative constantly and adding to your scale campaigns in order for it to work and keep your CPAs low. Nate, how many creatives are you testing on your biggest account every week?
Probably 30, something like that, 30, 40 creatives.
Yeah.
Creative output. It's your lever. It's really your main lever. I'll say we just had a little thing from the DTC team is we've had Pilothouse this week take over our ads, which has been really awesome for us. We got everything started. We had some really great success early on, and that gave us our big growth boost to start. But we started seeing results taper and become not as good. We brought Pilothouse on to actually take it over, and just since day one, it's been better. And it's just been by feeding the machine with more and more choice and decision. We've had a lot of luck so far with our DTC DCTs, which I'm enjoying saying. So it's been great. Thanks. Awesome work, Pilothouse.
It's everything, man. Creative output is everything, especially in this market with high CPMs. I think it's the biggest lever you have to get those down for sure.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll get this out soon.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good weekend.
Peace. Thanks, guys.
Bye.